First, a Wisconsin judge under arrest and facing charges accused of flouting federal law to help an illegal immigrant. Federal prosecutors say Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan allegedly helped that migrant avoid arrest by ICE officers at the courthouse.
A New Mexico judge and his wife were taken into custody yesterday. Federal agents arresting them for harboring a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member in their guest house.
We are closely following a major development where two judges have been arrested and charged for allegedly aiding illegal immigrants in evading U.S. law enforcement. In Wisconsin, Judge Hannah Dugan now faces serious federal charges after reportedly assisting an illegal immigrant in avoiding arrest. According to federal documents, Judge Dugan learned that immigration and customs enforcement agents were waiting outside her courtroom to detain a defendant. Instead of following protocol, she allegedly escorted the individual and his attorney through a private exit normally reserved for court staff. This triggered a foot pursuit that spilled out into the streets of Milwaukee, where agents ultimately apprehended the suspect. The man in question had previously been deported and illegally re-entered the country. He was appearing in state court to face charges for a violent domestic assault that left two victims hospitalized. Attorney General Pam Bondi, speaking on the case, condemned the judge's actions as horrific, emphasizing the betrayal of justice, especially with domestic violence victims present and waiting for justice in her courtroom.
Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes. Victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave.
Meanwhile, in a separate case out of New Mexico, Judge Joe Cano and his wife have been arrested for allegedly harboring a suspected member of Tren de Aragua, a notoriously violent Venezuelan gang. Investigators say the gang member had been living at the Cano residence after illegally crossing the southern border. Federal affidavits state that Judge Cano not only sheltered the fugitive but also actively destroyed evidence by smashing the gang member's cell phone with a hammer and discarding the pieces in a public dumpster. The investigation uncovered even more alarming details. The judge and his wife are accused of providing the gang member with assault rifles, including AR-15s and AK-47s, which were used at a local shooting range alongside other suspected gang affiliates. Authorities also found gruesome images of decapitated victims on the gang member's device, further highlighting the danger he posed.
They get a tip that he is living with a judge and the judge's wife. A Judge Damian Martinez releases him saying that Judge Cano has a good BS meter and wouldn't let just anyone live on his property. So Judge Cano, soon to be former Judge Cano, got his charges were just unsealed. He's charged with obstruction. He admitted post Miranda. He took one of the TDA members' cell phones himself, took it, beat it with a hammer, destroyed it, and then walked the pieces to a city dumpster to dispose of it to protect him. The wife also is charged with destroying evidence. Sandra, not only that, this TDA member, and he had on a necklace that said kill, something about death. He had tattoos all over him. He also had on his cell phone pictures of two decapitated victims. Two victims.
Attorney General Bondi made it clear that no one is above the law, including members of the judiciary. In a forceful statement, she warned that anyone who aids fugitives, harbors criminals, or obstructs justice will be aggressively prosecuted. When asked about critics who might accuse the administration of overreaching by arresting judges, Bondi responded firmly, "This is about enforcing the law and ensuring public safety, not politics." These arrests send a powerful message across the nation: protecting criminals, undermining justice, and endangering communities will not be tolerated, no matter who you are.